Welcome back. About 250,000 seniors, youths, and individuals with special needs will benefit from a new $3 million boost to a national fund promoting digital inclusion. Separately, there'll be workshops on everyday banking and generative AI to help people build practical digital skills. It's part of a renewed 3-year tie-up between Singapore's largest bank and the Infocomm Media Development Authority. Now, as part of the partnership, DBS will start peer-to-peer sessions for seniors to learn about things like digital payments. They will also work together to create a new AI course, which will be taught in 1,000 workshops across the island. DBS staff will help to run these sessions. And at one workshop, Minister of State for Digital Development and Information, Jasmine Lau, said this brings the total partners in the movement to over 300.
Generative AI is now part of our daily lives already, and it's very nice to see the senior citizens not just learn about what generative AI is about, but learn how to use it to enrich their daily lives, enjoy it, but also use it safely and confidently. So I hope that many more Singaporeans will pick up these tools, don't be afraid of digital technologies, and learn how to use it in a way that best works for them.
And for more on this, we have Karen Ngui, who is the MD and Head at DBS Foundation, as well as Douglas Goh, Director of Digital Engagement and Adoption at the SG Digital Office at the Infocomm Media Development Authority. Karen, Douglas, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Karen, let's start with you. Why is this initiative so timely and so important, not just for DBS, but also for Singapore as a whole?
I think the world has evolved so much, It's hard to imagine a world whereby one is not digitally literate, regardless of whether you're young or old. So this is an enhancement of a program that we started with IMDA back in 2022, whereby we actually conducted 680 workshops benefiting 150,000 individuals. With, Gen AI fast becoming a way of life for all of us, we felt that it's timely to upgrade and, improve the curriculum to kind of include these facets in addition to other bits like day-to-day living, digital payments and the likes of it.
Right.
So 1,000 workshops over 3 years is part of a collective effort between DBS Bank, DBS Foundation, DBS employees, the volunteers, and as well as our partners, IMDA and other partners.
Yeah, we definitely want to get into the details of that in just a bit as well, but also wanted to get a feel of where you think the challenges are when it comes to seniors or those with special needs trying to pick up these digital tools. Is it true that it's harder for seniors to pick it up, or is that a misconception?
Yeah, I think it's not fair to actually sort of generalize seniors sort of in general not being digitally savvy. My own dad, he's over 90 and he's the most digitally savvy person in the household.
Wow.
So I think, it's perhaps maybe the initial hesitancy because they're not aware or not comfortable, haven't really tried it out. So these workshops actually enable the seniors as well as youth and persons with disabilities to try things out. And it's hugely encouraging to see how when we do post-workshop surveys, they actually reflect increased confidence. And even surveys after the workshop a few months later showed that they've actually started to use digital payment tools. And in some cases, more than half of their daily spending is now paid digitally.
Wow. So there's clearly a lot of benefits, to learning these skills. But Douglas, I want to get to you now. How are you going to recruit participants for these workshops? Even though, I think Karen mentioned that it's actually not that difficult once you get the training for it, but it's the initial inertia, if you will, that's a bit difficult. How will you recruit participants for this?
Okay, so a large part of this, when we say that for seniors, the fear factor is actually is not something we want to marginalize. Actually, it's a very serious matter. So actually, a lot of this has to do with making it an environment that's safe for them. And what we do is that with the SG Digital Office, digital ambassadors, they're actually in the community, in selected community clubs as well as public libraries. This is where they get to meet the seniors. We get to interact them to provide the necessary support to them. So this is where we recruit them for workshops like this, as well as work with like-minded organizations like Lion Befrienders in this case, who has access to the beneficiaries to recruit them to the workshops. Now, over and above all this, actually is in the design of the workshops that's even more important. Because the workshops, in our collaboration with DBS, we actually operate at where the seniors live, work, and play. All right, and we design in such a way it's bite-sized, it's manageable, and more importantly, it's practical. It can be used immediately after they learn, and they can practice the skills. And last but not least, or we conduct it in the vernacular languages.
So it's very accessible for everyone
right.
as well.
Yeah. Just to add on, I think Douglas's point, I think learning from a trusted provider. So they trust DBS, they trust IMDA, they trust our partners like Lions Befrienders. And the curriculum has also been developed in conjunction with the Cybersecurity Agency. So I think, giving them that opportunity to learn and also learn through peers and all that, and making it fun does make a difference.
Yeah, can you paint a picture for us then? You say peer-to-peer interaction is very key to this. It is a very social world after all. Can you kind of give people a picture of how it actually happens? What do the workshops actually look and feel like?
Well, for typical workshops, we start off by believing that everyone can learn, right? So the workshop will actually start off with, guided by the digital ambassadors as well as the DBS volunteers. We would teach the seniors the most basic fundamentals of what Gen AI is about, right? And then after we talk about the risks and how to manage those risks. But more importantly is also to have a hands-on experience in the workshop design where they get to practice practical skills that they can use immediately after that. So for example, for seniors, I think you could generate cooking recipes. They could generate holiday plans for the grandchildren, or even generate bedtime stories for the grandchildren as well.
Yeah, so we've made it sort of like a day in the life of, how would you cook a certain meal, so the recipes, and sort of we've also introduced gamification elements, to the training as well. Or even ask them, so you're going for a holiday in Sentosa, how would you prompt Gen AI to kind of give you some ideas as to what to do? So it's interesting seeing them sort of, if you will, tease one another as to how to actually play the game.
Yeah.
And after that, they were all sort of this morning, they were really excited. They're quite a noisy bunch, and it was all hands up when we asked them, are you more comfortable with Gen AI after this? And it was a resounding yes.
So they're very tangible outcomes that are being achieved while it being also quite fun. You mentioned earlier, Karen, that the DBS employees are quite involved in this as well. What role do they play in it, in bringing the people forward, the seniors and those with special needs? Yeah.
So I think in two aspects. One is in terms of the actual generating the curriculum, because, we're a bank, and so financial planning, learning, how to kind of use digital tools, being more aware of the kind of scams out there. This is where the employees come in terms of developing the curriculum, and then also doing the hands-on, if you will, workshop walkthroughs and all that with the seniors. I'd also like to say that at this juncture, given that Singapore is rapidly aging, having the opportunity to kind of address aging societies through intergenerational elements, I think is a really good initiative for all of us. Yeah.
All right, Karen, Douglas, thank you so much for sharing about this initiative with us. I've been speaking with Karen Ngui, who is the MD and Head at DBS Foundation, and Douglas Goh, Director at IMDA.